What's up? It's your girl Ella. How are you guys doing? First, happy holidays, Merry Christmas if you're watching this in present time. I just wanted to come with some content that's a little bit different, but something that I think could be helpful. And I want to talk about my plans for the holiday as well as how they are different and how they have changed this year. So most of my friends and family know, but if you're new to my channel or you're just new to me, hi, I'm Ella. And this year is celebrating Christmas is really difficult for me because the closest person to me in the world, she is no longer here, and it's really fresh. It's only been a couple of months, and I just wanted to take. Of course, I am hurting and grieving still, but I wanted to take that and use it as an opportunity to help others get through this process or get through this time, even if this video just helps you pass time. So I'm going to talk about some ways that you can grieve properly, but also celebrate Christmas or any holiday in particular that you need. Trust me, I'm no expert, but I am just speaking on the perspective of someone that's going through it. I definitely understand. So what I wanted to talk about is just a few different ways that someone who is grieving or missing a loved one during this particular time can get through the day and be able to cope. Trust me, I understand it is not easy. The person closest to me in the world is no longer here, and it's very fresh. It's only been a couple of months. And so although I am grieving, I wanted to take this opportunity to help someone else. And it's also therapeutic for me to just give tips and ways of how to get through this. My plan for today, of course, I am going to be sad, and I do expect to be emotional at some point in the day. However, I just want to carry on certain traditions. My grandmother and I would always listen to the Motown Christmas album. If I can find it, I'll find the direct link. I'll link it below. But my grandmother and I would listen to that religiously every Christmas. Like as soon as it's approaching Christmas time, that will be on. And so I plan to put that on YouTube because I'm sure it's there. And I'm just going to cook some soul food and do the things that would bring us together. And so it is difficult. It won't be easy. But I know that those things don't have to die with the person that you love. And so that's one way. That's number one. You can find things that the person who you're missing that you guys will do together. And I feel like sometimes spiritually they'll meet you halfway, so you'll be able to feel their energy and their presence when you're doing certain things that you guys would both enjoy. And it does lift your spirits. It really does lift your spirits. So that's how I plan to spend my holiday. Do I think it will be perfect and I'll just be smiling the entire time? No, I don't. But I definitely think that it helps. Number two, I would say you want to think about what the other person, how they would want to see you. And so what I mean by that is, you have to think about, how would this person want me to feel today? And anyone who is a human being would understand that you're going to grieve regardless. But your family member, no matter who it is, it could be a loved one, friend, anyone, they would want you to be happy. No one who loved you or impacted you in a way where you miss them would want you to be sad or feel lonely or be depressed. And so you have to be proactive in thinking of solutions to get yourself out of depression and grief. And so I would say just think about the person. And when I think about my grandmother, to give an example, although I know that she knows that I miss her and I love her, she wouldn't want me to be doing nothing. She wouldn't want me to be sad. She would want me to do all of the things that my heart desires. She would want me to fulfill my destiny. She would want me to continue on. And sometimes that movement is only day by day. So that's something that I would say you keep in perspective when you wake up on Christmas or whatever holiday, or just any day in particular. Just figure out, how would this person want me to carry out this day? They would want me to be happy. They would want me to be stable. They would want me to be of sound mind. So just keep that into perspective. The third thing that I can say, and the most important, is listen to yourself. Listen to your body. Listen to your mind. Throughout the grieving process never stops, for one. But throughout the grieving process, sometimes you will feel so trapped in your thoughts that you try to keep yourself busy. Other times you will just sulk and lay in sorrow. And both of those things are, I won't say that they're okay, but they are normal and they are expected. And so you can't beat yourself up over those things. However, sometimes, like I can say for myself, sometimes I try to force myself to be active because I don't want to think. But my body is telling me I need rest. I need to take this in. I need to absorb the trauma that I have experienced. And so I'm learning throughout this grieving process to truly listen to my body. Listen to my intuition when I say that I need to stop and process and sit. I will allow myself that. And sometimes, if you live with others, anything like that, you'll feel like, you don't want people to think you're doing nothing. None of that matters. You have to listen to yourself. And I found that when I do listen to my body and I listen to just my intuition about how I feel about this person or this grieving process on this particular day, it usually helps the day go a lot further. You tend to crash and burn when you try to go against what your health is calling for. So I would say listen to yourself. And the fourth thing that kind of piggybacks off of listening to your body and listening to your intuition is being proactive with what you come up with. So with what you think your loved one would say, with what your body is telling you, after you kind of gather that information, and it's not like you can write it down if that helps you, but most of the time it's just in the front of our brain. What are you going to do with that information? And so you have to be proactive in that. And so if you feel like I understand what it feels like to feel lonely. If you feel lonely on this particular day, then you might want to go somewhere where even if you don't have friends or family to directly go to, you can go to a public park where there's an ambiance and there's other people around, and they don't have to be directly talking to you in order for you to feel like you are around people, or you're just in a different ambiance. If you feel like you need air, go for a walk. Me, for Christmas, I could have been around friends, or I could have asked, to be, I don't want to say watched after, but I could have been around people. I just felt with everything that I told you guys, what I gathered was, I don't want to mask my pain, and I feel like I am going to be in a lot of pain. And so what I choose to do with that is just to be alone and to do the things that my grandmother and I and my mother and me do together. And although I'll be by myself, I'll still be carrying out those traditions, and I feel like her presence will be there. And so I felt like, I really don't want to mask. I want to allow myself to sulk in certain areas, and I want to allow myself to